Welcome back. Hello, everyone. Excited about the year, and with that, I'll take any questions.
Wes, we talk a lot about different types of running schemes and things like that. How does that work, I guess, in 2024? It doesn't seem like teams just kind of run the same thing over and over again. So when you're putting in a running game plan, how does that operation work?
Yeah, I think you're right about that in a sense where, it used to be teams, they're a gap pull team, gap trap, type team. They're a wide zone only team, and that's what they do. I still think you have to have an emphasis on kind of the big picture concepts that you want to focus on, and rep and practice throughout camp, throughout the off season, and then you're just trying to look at the defense, trying to fit those schemes in, the things your guys know and have executed well, trying to fit those in every week just based on whatever the defense is presenting to you.
Wes, can you describe the challenge that Dexter Lawrence presents?
He's a great player, and he's on the inside, which can be sometimes more of a challenge, not to discount the edge players, but there's a lot of edge players where which side they're going to align. You can have plans to slide to them, chip them, all those types of things. Sometimes it can be more difficult on the inside, and particularly in the pass game, the quarterbacks, they hate that push from up the middle, and that's something he's been able to do throughout his career. So, and then there's structures that they can get in where they can put you one-on-one on Dexter, right, with defensive structure. So it's not always, hey, can we get four hands on the guy? So he's a challenge. You try to set up runs and passes and protections in a way that is going to minimize his ability to do what he does best. But I'm sure he'll show up at some point in the game. We just hope that we put together a good plan to try to minimize that.
How does Evan Burns enhance what he does on the inside?
Yeah, and the more guys you have up on the front that are dangerous, the more difficult it is to focus on one guy. And I think that's probably one of the reasons they brought Burns in there, to be the opposite side of Thibodeau. Now you've got your inside presence, you've got edge threats, you've got athletes out on the edge. So it's going to be a challenge, but we'll try to exploit the things that maybe they don't do as well, and try to minimize the things that they do really well. But always going to be a challenge with a guy like Burns and Thibodeau and Lawrence, on the passing downs, known passing downs, the third downs in the red zone, the 2 minutes, all those types of things to try to lessen their impact on the game.
The Shane Bowen defense.
What do they do?
I mean, he's new there this year, so it could be different with their new personnel.
Yeah, it could be different. Shane Bowen, being at Tennessee, being with Coach Vrabel, you never know truly how much was Vrabel telling him, this is what I want to do, and how much was he just, you've got the defense and you're running it. So we could see some wrinkles. I think, base structure of the defense and a lot of the coverages will probably carry over. What is their plan going to be against us? And it's always the challenge. I know a lot of teams and coordinators on each side of the ball are dealing with this type of thing with game one, where you're looking at Giants personnel, but watching some Tennessee tape to look at their tendencies and the things that he liked to do there. But again, there's some unknown there, and I think that's why when you're game planning, you're trying to find out, let's make sure that, we're rock solid on the things we're doing, to make sure our guys can go out and play fast. They understand the plays, not trying to maybe scheme up as many individual plays that you might during a game week when there's more unknown.
Hey, Wes, with the run game, and how did it go this summer as you were looking to find out what you should emphasize come these game week plans as you're evaluating both in camp and the preseason, just what you're good at, what the players are good at in terms of the scheme?
Yeah, I think that's something just through the off season with our own self scout, our study of our own stuff that you're evaluating, and then looking at our personnel. What did we actually run well last year? What schemes did we run well? What do we want to emphasize going into the spring? And I think we narrowed down some things that we like to do and that we feel like we've been successful at, and some things we can improve on. But having enough, it's kind of big picture, these few things that we want to major in, and then let's make sure we have a couple of these other things, whether it's a misdirection or a special or a perimeter play. Those things that can mix in within a game, potentially. Without saying what we narrowed down to exactly. Just not to give them the full scouting report, but they've seen enough on tape of kind of the things that we've done, but we feel like we've narrowed down some of those concepts that we feel like we can be successful. We just want to be sound. We want to give them some angles in the run game, in whatever schemes those are, and feel pretty confident our guys can go out and execute.
How much does Aaron Jones change that just by himself in terms of curtailing it to what he likes to do?
I think what you see from Aaron is, Aaron's not the biggest back, but what you see is he's been able to really run just about any scheme. He's got great vision on the tight zone runs where he hits backside cuts. He's able to run the duo play, the things inside, as well as running some of the perimeter stuff that he's also had success with in Green Bay. So he's really a versatile guy. He's just a good runner. Sees the field really well. He sees a lot and can tell you kind of real time what he's seeing and why he made a certain cut. So just having another talented back there is also a bonus for us. The offensive line looks a lot better when you have good runners back there, regardless of what's happening up front, just as they look better with a quarterback that gets rid of the football. The sack numbers go down. But we feel good about, obviously, the runners we have, bringing in Aaron and then Ty just progressing throughout the year last year, and feel really good about where he's at to start the season.
What's your sense of Sam's comfort level with the offense now that he's been here for the summer?
I'm very comfortable with Sam's comfortability. He hasn't had any issues really that I've noticed or that's come up. He asks good questions when something does come up in the meeting room. He's got a lot of experience playing football and being in different systems. I think you have some history with some concepts, and a lot of us run very similar concepts. There might be a tweak here or there, or maybe we coach it a little bit differently or coach the footwork a little bit differently. But the one thing he's done is come out and be able to throw the football extremely well throughout the spring, throughout the fall. So, we're really excited about Sam and the kind of year we believe he can have and will have. I don't think, lack of knowledge of the system or anything like that, history with our system is going to be any issues going into the season. And particularly as we've narrowed down this plan, I think it's going to look even better and he'll be even more comfortable.
What's your thoughts on Jaron Hall ended up in Seattle's practice squad?
Yeah, I'm excited for Jaron. I know I had fun out there in those preseason games, getting a chance to call some plays with Jaron in there, out there making plays, and I have a lot of respect for Jaron and wish him nothing but the best going out to Seattle with a good program out there. Sometimes a fresh start's good for a young guy like that, and can't say enough about the person, Jaron Hall, and the worker that he was in this building. So just excited for him and wish him the best.
Did you think he was coming back after he cleared waivers? Are you surprised that he chose to go out there as opposed to come here?
I think, that's each individual player has to kind of talk through it with their family, with their agents, all those types of things. And I can't speak to what made him make that decision personally, but like I said, I wish him the best always. He's just a really good human being. He worked his tail off when he was here, and wish him the best in the future.
It's just kind of random, but what do you think has helped the defense be so successful with the undrafted free agents the way they have with like Pace, McLeather, Taki? Like, do you have a thought on why they've been so successful with that?
Well, I think from the coaching and the personnel department working to identify some of these guys that you see something in, and then being able to kind of get on the phones after the draft and be recruiters a little bit. That's kind of our one time where we have to be a recruiter a little bit because there's teams trying to get these guys. But just I think from the personnel side and then the coaching side, kind of working together to identify who these guys are and how important. There's an importance to it where we understand maybe more than most teams how these guys can, if you hit on the right guys, they can come in and be a real impact for you. So they've certainly done a great job. I wish we had more undrafted free agent starters to get in there, but we got some good young guys too. So that's what I would say. All right, thanks.